Salas Street. Tingnan nyo, sundan nyo ako. Kita nyo to? Ito. Nandito tayo ngayon sa Manila, National Capital Region. Samahan niyo ako, punta natin itong Salas Street. Tingnan nyo, Salas Street. I-search natin mamaya sa Google kung ano yung, bakit mayroong Salas Street dito. Ano? Kita niyo guys, ito ha. Salas Street. Rafael Salas yan. I-search natin mamaya sa Google kung bakit mayroong Salas Street dito sa siyudad ng Manila. Ito Mabini, ito Salas. So samahan nyo ako. Bye-bye natin ng sandali. Papunta tayo doon sa Dolomite Beach, Manila Baywalk. Kaya na. Itong dinaanan natin ngayon, ito ay Salas Street. Tingnan nyo, napakataas ng building.
Well, this seminar is on management of family planning programs, of which there are 23 countries represented all throughout the world. This is intended primarily to acquaint both the international organizations and management experts running national population programs on the delivery of services as well as the assistance given to family planning programs by the United Nations Fund for Population Activities.
Rafael Montinola Salas was the first executive director of UNFPA, the United Nations Population Fund. He headed the fund from the time it became operational in 1969 until his untimely death in 1987. Under his leadership, UNFPA grew from a small trust fund into the world's largest multilateral provider of population assistance. A true pioneer, Mr. Salas was one of the first international advocates for making crucial links between population and sustainable development. Mr. Salas was born in Bago, Negros Occidental in the Philippines in 1928. He received bachelor and law degrees from the University of the Philippines in 1953 and a master's in public administration from Harvard University in 1955. For the next 11 years, he combined professorships in law and economics at the University of the Philippines with positions in government and private industry. He was executive director of the National Economic Council with cabinet rank from 1955 to 1961 and worked as general manager of the Manila Chronicle from 1963 to 1966. In 1966, Mr. Salas was called to serve as Executive Secretary of the Republic of the Philippines under then-President Ferdinand E. Marcos. As National Coordinator of the Philippine National Rice and Corn Sufficiency Program, Mr. Salas jump-started a green revolution that for the first time made his country self-sufficient in rice production. In 1968, he served as Vice President of the International Conference on Human Rights in Tehran. There he proclaimed, "Parents have a basic human right to determine freely and responsibly the number and the spacing of their children." Mr. Salas agreed to become the first director of UNFPA in 1969. Under his leadership, the agency grew from a minor body with a $2.5 million budget to one of the most influential United Nations agencies, investing over $150 million annually. In 1984, Mr. Salas acted as Secretary General of the International Population Conference in Mexico City. Through sheer diplomacy, he convinced world leaders that population is a crucial development issue and has profound impacts on all other development interventions, whether poverty, health, or economic development. Mr. Salas's efforts to galvanize global consensus about the importance of population to development earned him the title Mr. Population by the international community. Mr. Salas was not only a great leader, educator, government and international official and attorney. He was also a poet and author, an intellectual whose perceptions and insights were well ahead of his time. He contributed a huge body of literature on government management and population issues and wrote 2 books of poetry. In recognition of his achievements and impact, the Rafael Salas Memorial Lecture is held at the United Nations to discuss major aspects of population and its links to sustainable development. The first lecture, in 1989, was delivered by Saburo Okita, former Foreign Minister of Japan, on population and development. Subsequent lectures have been delivered by luminaries from the worlds of politics, science, academia, international development, and the media.